Welcome to today's Gold Show, week 13. I'm always shouting when I talk, so let's do that again.
You got it.
Yeah. Welcome to today's Gold Show, week 13. You'll want to stick around until the end because we'll be announcing the winner of a shining 1 ounce silver coin. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the world of finance. Let's kick things off with some exciting news in the precious metals market. What have you got for us today, Paul?
Hello, Drew, and Happy New Year. First gold show back in the new year. I know we're 10 days in, but it has been a busy festive period, hasn't it?
It has indeed.
Did you enjoy your festive break, shall we say?
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Right, we're going to jump into the first story that I've got, and we need to start with something that is happening right now. If the host would let me share.
Oh,
You had to reclaim host, didn't you?
did
You
I?
had to press that button, didn't you, Drew?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you pressed the button because I was host. You joined and pressed the button to reclaim it, didn't
Yeah,
you?
you know when I went, oh shit.
Yeah. Is it turned on now?
Yeah.
Right, Drew, we're going to jump in with our first story of the day. And we cannot start without talking about the big thing of the moment, the LA fires. Right now, Biden says the feds will cover 100% of fire response costs in Southern California. Now, as you can see from the footage that's being shared, it's bad. It's mass devastation. We're hearing reports that recovery is going to cost $50 billion. Grant Cardone's jumped in, the property entrepreneur that he is, and said it's going to be 10x that. So we are looking at $500 billion to repair this damage, because by the time you take into all the environmental reports, the certain way it's got to be built, etc., etc., this is going to cost a fortune to rebuild. It's massive. It'll be years before it recovers. So the cost of this on the economy is going to be massive. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be loads of new jobs, but for the short term, this is bad. What are your thoughts, Drew?
Well, I was wondering, fucking asked me, didn't you?
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
um, so, Paul, what do you reckon is going to happen with? So, Paul, what do you think is going to happen to gold being in this situation?
Gold, um, with looking at the overall picture, gold prices are going to go up this year. That is a fact. I'm sorry, but Biden, if he did it right now, would have to print a lot more money to help those people in California. He's not going to do it. He's going to send that money to Ukraine and Israel. More money printing, more problems.
Well, following from that as well, the world's fourth largest asset manager, overseeing $4.73 trillion in assets, predicts that gold prices could surge to 3,100 an ounce this year. I think
Wow.
last year, gold had its best year in the US dollar terms in 14 years.
Wow, that is absolutely crazy. I think we're going to see prices of $3,500 an ounce for gold. And we are still in geopolitical turmoil. We've still got the war in Ukraine and Russia. China has been hinting at Taiwan for far too long now. We suspect there might be that action about to happen. Trump is talking about Greenland. He's talking about the Gulf of America. For those of you who don't know, it's currently called the Gulf of Mexico. He's even talking about the UK. So we are going into some serious economic uncharted waters. And we need to keep an eye on it because gold traditionally always does well when times like this are here.
Well, let's speak about the year ahead and what the three scenarios is to consider. So, the first one being of what you said, the bullish outlook. If global demand increases and geopolitical tensions rise, gold prices could soar. And then the second is the stable outlook. If inflation normalizes and interest rates remain steadily, gold prices will likely stay stable. And the third would be the bearish outlook. If the dollar strengthens and interest rates rise, unexpectedly, gold prices might drop. So it's a bit of a roller coaster, but for those with a long-term view, gold could be the safe bet, as we always say.
Yeah, do you know what, Drew? I think those are definitely the three outcomes. The one that I don't think will happen is inflation will stabilise. No way, no how. I'm sorry, it would take something monumental to stabilise the economies of the world right now. You know, we've got shortages starting to come up in energy, and everyone knows energy is the backbone of everything. If energy goes up, straight away everything else is going up. So inflation steadying? Nah, can't see it this year at the moment. What I do believe is gold, the safe haven that it is going to have a phenomenal 12 months. Phenomenal 12 months. And I think we'll all be scratching our head that we didn't buy more when we look back on this. And just for those of you who are interested, head over to goldbusters.co.uk because they can help you protect your wealth in the precious metals market. Drew, I'm going to jump in with my next story. The crypto market in the last 24 hours is being turned upside down, more so than the US government getting rushed through the ability to sell $6.5 billion of Bitcoin that is seized from the Silk Road platform a few years ago now. And they want to sell it fast because they want to take advantage of Bitcoin being high at the moment. Also, Biden is on his way out. Is he trying to sell Bitcoin because Trump wants to create a strategic reserve in Bitcoin to help bolster the economy? I think we're seeing something that is triggered because Biden wants to possibly screw Trump on the way out. We'll have to keep an eye on this. Or is this just the end of the bull run happening? What do you think, Drew?
Well, I fucking hell, you fucking asking me.
Right, scratch that. Go on to your next story.
Well, do you know what I think is quite amusing is that the billionaire Mark Cuban says he'd rather own Bitcoin than gold if something bad was to happen to the economy. How bizarre. What do you think about that, considering what's going on with Bitcoin at the moment?
I think it's one of those things when you're invested in it, you will back it up, you will talk about it because that is just the nature of humans. Start again, Paul. Drew, delete that bit later on down the road. Drew, I think it's an interesting one because Bitcoin is still a digital currency. It has no physical hold it in your hands properties. And yes, it is changing the world of finance, cryptocurrencies in general. But at the end of the day, gold, precious metals you hold, they are a finite real world resource that if the internet went down, you can still pick it up and buy something with it. So there's arguments for and against both. And you've just got to work out what you're happy with your risk levels. Me, I'm not all in any. I like to spread it around my wealth and put it into different things. Precious metals, gold, silver. That's my main hedge because I know if the internet went down or some sort of geopolitical thing happened, I know that my gold and silver is still worth something. Whereas Bitcoin takes one government to outlaw it, boom, you can't spend it in that country. So we'll have to watch that one as well. Jumping into my next story, Drew, we are heading over to the UK. Guess what? The pound has fallen to its lowest in over a year after UK borrowing costs rise. I wonder why. The UK economy is in the toilet.
In a minute, in a minute. So the pound falls to the lowest in over a year after UK borrowing costs rise. So we're borrowing, obviously, loads. But
Yes.
how much are we giving away to other countries?
Why do you think the borrowing costs have risen, Drew? We are borrowing more and more that we can't justify. You know, We cannot borrow 500 million here, 300 million there. The government sending money away willy-nilly without those costs rising as it becomes riskier to support our economy. Because this is borrowed against you. It's borrowed against me. It's borrowed against Dave round the corner. Our earning potential for the economy. Now, when taxes rise, it means they have spent far more than is coming in. That is nature. And then inflation goes up with it and everything else. We have got to be so careful in the UK and stop sending money abroad. But as you can see, the pound has fallen to its lowest.
And while that happens, China gold discovery, the recent discovery of a huge gold deposit in China's Hunan province in China's Hunan province has sent ripples through global markets with an estimated reserve of 1,100 tons valued at a drumroll of $83 billion. This marks one of the largest gold finds in history, unearthed in the Wangu gold field. The deposits of high quality veins have reunited conversations about the gold's role in the global economy, bullion markets, and as a hedge for investors. How exciting is that?
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic, Drew. Also, on the back of that, just talking about tons of gold, this is from the 6th of January on the Gold Telegraph on X. Official gold reserves rose by a further 53 tons in November. Central banks around the world continue to stockpile gold. Now, for all of you out there who are like, well, why are they buying gold? They have dollars, they have pounds, they have rubles, they have this. They only buy gold when economic uncertainty is round the corner. That is how this works. Because when the shit hits the fan, that's when they start selling the gold. They are stockpiling because the shit is going to hit the fan in the not too distant future. And I do apologize for my very explicit words there, but I want to try and keep this simple. So average person gets a chance to get ahead of this, because I can tell you right now, if they're buying gold, there's a big problem coming.
Right, let's roll over. Okay, let's just swing to the question of the week. What's worth more, 20 times 1 ounce silver coins or a 1 10-ounce gold coin?
Ooh, that's an interesting one, Drew.
Pop your answer at the gold show / no. Go to our website. No.
There you go, I'll do it. Head over to our website, thegoldshow.com. On there, you'll find a link to where you can enter your answer and hopefully win that shiny silver coin.
And the winner of this week's 1 ounce silver coin is Mrs. Edith Bowman. Congratulations, you have won a free 1 ounce silver coin. For those of you that want an opportunity to win, oh no, oh. Paul, what's your next story?
Well, we're going to head over to Asia now, because with whatever goes on in the West, normally knocks on to Asia. So Asia faces, start that bit again, Paul. Asia faces economic headwind from Trump and a sluggish China. Now, they are talking that China's economy is not going to do too well heading into 2025. Most are predicting this is on the back of Trump introducing tariffs of up to 25% for imported goods. Now, I'm of the opinion, I think this is a wonderful idea. Reason being, this starts to bring manufacturing back to your home. Whereas at the moment, China does subsidize a big part of the manufacturing out there, so they can undercut everybody. And I don't know about all of you in America, but in the UK, our manufacturing industry has almost but shut up. There's almost nothing left now. And this is something that maybe the UK needs to look at adopting, to start bringing the jobs back to your home soil, to start building things, start producing things, and dare I say it, start exporting stuff ourselves. So this is a very interesting story.
What gets me is that we can sit here and we have an outlook of what should be happening and what they shouldn't be doing and what they should be doing.
Should be doing and shouldn't be doing. Do you want to say that again?
Yeah. What gets me is that we can sit here and we know what's right and wrong. We know what they should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. Now, how is it we can sit here and have this outlook, but the ones that are actually in charge just make it all spaghetti?
They do, Drew. You're absolutely right. I hate to say it. Corruption's a big thing, putting money in your pocket. When you look at the 1% has almost all the money in the world, it sounds absolutely mental, but that's true. That money is dead. That money is doing nothing. That is what drives inflation, because that money is not being reinvested into economies. It's being parked so some fat cat can feel good about themselves being rich.
Yeah.
And that's it, and exerting power. We need to find a way to bring the millionaires back into our countries and get them spending. Get them, don't just take it off them, get them out there spending, because then that brings in new jobs and everything else that's going on. But at the moment, as long as corruption is running rife in all these countries, that is why our economies are failing. Prove me wrong. Because hundreds of billions going across to war-torn countries, and then the president of that country is even saying the money's not getting there. That tells you something quite major and something wrong. Is this how they launder big money? By sending it as aid and to charities abroad? I don't know. It's something you can't even trace. The moment that money leaves our shores, it's gone.
And for those of you that don't know what the story is basically Zelensky's asking where is the money that Joe Biden should have sent him.
Very true, Drew. And that was the... Do you want to do the ending? I've just fucked that up.
No, you can do it. It's fine.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us at the Gold Show. Somewhere in that show, you heard the question for this week's competition to win a shiny silver ounce coin. And for those of you who want to look at protecting your wealth, to take a bit of ownership and not relying on some fat cat banker who's probably going to spend your money on junk, head over to goldbusters.co.uk. Speak to Adam and James. They will be able to steer you in the right direction. Because I can tell you right now, gold hasn't done too bad. Last year, I think it went up 30, 40%. Can you get that in the bank, Drew? Are your interest rates that high?
Seriously.
Well, no, but it was a lead in to say, no, I only get about 5%.
I didn't know that. Shall I say that? No,
Do you
I only
not?
get about 5%.
Well, there you go, Drew. But who knows? Everyone's got to make their own choices. But if you want to find out more, head over to thegoldshow.com, where we talk about all things to do with metals, economy, stocks, crypto. And all that's left for me to say on the back of that is thank you for watching. God bless.
Bye bye.